You know, what's the point of having a swing set in your backyard if you can't use it once in a while for shooting a vlog? Actually, I'm just out here because it's a nice day and all the other chairs are wet because it's been raining a bit. Not much, but just enough to make everything sort of, you know, uncomfortable if you sit on it. For some reason, the swings aren't. Probably because they were right under the pole or something. Anyway, I'm shooting this with Filmic Pro, and maybe you're cottoning on to the problem that I'm having with this software. The other day, I mentioned that I had botched up my like, comment, and subscribe, and that really surprised me because I kind of had given some thought to that, like all these things on the blog. I actually spend a little time thinking about it before I do it. And then I missed it. And I thought I had gotten it second nature as to where it was going to go, because it should go from here to here to here. Because you're looking at me in this plane, and you read from left to right. But I think you can see what's wrong. I just missed it again. And it's not me, and I didn't even realize it. It's Filmic Pro. So when I shoot these, normally I use the FaceTime camera, or the selfie camera if you want to go with that. Even though the front camera is a much higher resolution and a better camera. And the reason is that there's no practical way for me to line up the shot unless I'm using the selfie cam. That's why we have selfie cams. So the best I'm going to get is 720p out of this thing. But you know, uploading for YouTube, that's fine. So I'm shooting in that mode. And actually, I'm not even sure the FaceTime camera might be 1080p now too, but it used to be 720p. But either way, I'm rendering them down that way. But it doesn't really matter. But I'm using this camera because this one allows me to see what's going on. It allows me to frame up the shot so that, you know, I'm over here in the rule of third zone and looking that direction, or not, as the case may be. Filmic Pro, as do all selfie cameras, they flip the image when you're looking at them because we're so used to seeing ourselves in mirrors that when we're looking at the selfie cam, we are looking at a mirror image of ourselves. But when you play it back, of course, it's exactly the reverse because it's not a mirror image when it's recording. Filmic Pro doesn't seem to be doing that. And looking online, it appears to be a bug that happens intermittently. Although, as far as I can tell, it happens absolutely every time. And I can't find anything on their help page about it, and I can't find like a simple switch that says mirror the video. So this seems to be a problem. In a way, the other day when I was shooting a couple of shots using Filmic Pro, I was thinking, when I watched them back, I thought, wow, you know, I kind of caught a little different look, because I do try to make them a little different from day to day instead of just me sitting in front of the computer. And I kind of thought, well, you know, I got a little different dynamic in that shot. Yeah, it's because they're backwards. And I didn't notice it, which is really weird. After the fact, it was just sort of, it's just different, but I couldn't tell. Probably because I wasn't wearing a shirt like that you would notice the writing was immediately backwards. So that's been my main complaint about Filmic Pro. I can flip it in post, but A, I shouldn't have to. B, that eats up some render time, which just makes it longer to post these and more difficult. So that's not good and something that they should really fix. The other thing that's a little bit weird, and I'm sure it's a limitation on the camera, but as you'll recall, I pointed out that Filmic Pro has separate exposure and focus points, and in the demo they use different reticules to you pick the spot on the screen and then lock it down. Well, in the FaceTime camera, you can't lock down the focus that way, but you can do the exposure. And at first I thought that was going to be a showstopper, but then I realized, actually no, I don't mind. The autofocus works fine for my face. It's the exposure control that doesn't work if you don't lock it down. So by not having the focus and the exposure on the same spot, it solves the problem. But I can't lock off a specialty focus shot like if I wanted to focus on the tree behind me. I think the FaceTime camera has nearly, if it isn't, it's not completely a fixed focus, but it's darn close. It's pretty wide range, probably because of the nature of the camera. So those have been my two main complaints about Filmic Pro. It does have a lot of options. You've got a lot of creative control there. You can pull focus. You can program zooms to go between locations. So if you're shooting off the front camera, it's really great. The only other disadvantage that I can find to it is that it stores everything in its own library, and if you want to get it out, you either have to hook it up and dump it off to something like Dropbox, or you have to save it to your camera roll, which effectively doubles the amount of space you're using on the camera until you pull it off. So a couple minor things. Anyway, it's gonna be a busy day today. The kids are going for their heck, I don't know what it is. It's down to Castles and, not Castles and Coasters. Yeah, it's Castles and Coasters for their Principal's Honor Roll outing day today. So of course it's raining. Arizona, hey, there you go. Got those 6 days a year. And we were gonna have a Chinese New Year party, but a couple people couldn't make it, and so I don't know whether we canceled it or we postponed it, but we're not having that today. So I don't know what this afternoon has in store for us. Two things are constant every year, unless there's rain. But it works like this. Every year our kids are in the honor roll, and therefore they're entitled to the honor roll outing. And the second thing that always happens is that every year the kids are supposed to arrive at 9:30 to go in at 10, and the chaperones are supposed to arrive at 9:15 to get lined up and ready to go for when the kids arrive at 9:15. Here we are, well after 10 o'clock, and every year one of our kids' chaperones is an absolute irresponsible hole and doesn't show up on time. And that's what's happened again this year. And you would think that if you took on the job of chaperoning 5, 6 kids around a park for an honor roll outing, that you could at least get your fat, lazy ass out of bed and get here on time. You know, many of the problems that exist in this world are because we don't question everything. And I identify myself as a skeptic and a free thinker, but that does not mean that we all do this all the time. Like, you simply cannot learn everything on your own. You have to take the word for others. And a lot of the things that happen in this world are because we learned it from our parents. Our parents said this is the way it was, and we never questioned it. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about that deep philosophical question of which type of electric razor you should be using. Now, before I could shave, and by the way, I think anyone who's ever seen these vlogs, or indeed knows me, knows that if there's one thing I hate to do, I hate to shave. I detest shaving. Some people say shaving's that contemplative time where they enjoy it. I hate it. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't matter whether it's a razor. It doesn't matter if it's electric. It wastes my time. I hate it. The only thing I hate worse is scratching when my beard comes in. So I'm actually kind of pleased that there's this trend of people looking like, well, frankly, unkempt slobs as being the trendy thing for people to do on TV. So they've all got these, of course, they're neatly manicured with special razors that are designed to produce just this level of stubble, which I can just accomplish by not shaving. And I can then pretend like it's a style thing, man. But it's not. I just hate shaving. And I'm fortunate enough that I don't actually have to shave every day. That's my Native American blood kicking in. But nonetheless, I can't get away without shaving, and I hate it. So, to the parent thing. My granddad and my father both, before I could shave, explained to me how much they hated the long, thin type of electric razor. I'll show you in a minute. And that the only kind that they could use and stand was the 3-head rotary shaver. And so when I got old enough to shave and moved out on my own and got my own razor, of course I got what I had been taught was going to work better. And yet, somehow, there are vast advocates of people who favor the Braun style of shaver, which I've never tried because, like, I'm going to go up to somebody who has one and say, hey, can I borrow your shaver? I'd really like to see if I'd like it. And, of course, they're twice as expensive as the rotary ones, too. So, anyway, this poor guy is dying after about 5 years. Battery's shot, and I'm sure it needs new head because it's ripping my face apart like nobody's business. Of course, now I can use it to shave the little fuzzy things off of my clothes, maybe. It still works on the cord. So, Costco today, they've got a deal on the Braun Series 7, I think model 740S, for, it's still $160, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm gonna shave. And you can shave in the shower with this one, which I think might be a huge boon for me because then I don't have to take time. Because I take long showers because it takes me a long time to wake up in the morning. But if I could use that time to shave while I'm waking up in the morning, I think this could be a lot better. So I'm going to give it a shot. And frankly, for this amount of money, I'm stuck with it for the next 5-10 years anyway. So we'll just have to find out. Anyway, I'll let you know. Maybe tomorrow, or even maybe later today, I might be clean shaven. It's possible. Just barely possible. Well, my first attempt at using the electric razor has gone disastrously wrong. It stopped working after only one stroke. I mean, it sprayed foam everywhere and then just quit. I guess that one's going back. I'm very disappointed about this whole thing. Ha! Gotcha! The whole thing was a complete psych out. I have not actually attested the razor. I know better than to use shaving cream. I have been doing this for 35 years. So, now, for the first time, we will try this style, which I am told you hold at a 90-degree angle to your face. Like this. I hope this works. I never tried shaving in an actual selfie. Let's see, we get a little closer. Yeah, we can get a little closer. Let's see how that looks. I can't see if it's done any good. The resolution isn't high enough. But it isn't ripping my face apart. May not be doing anything, but... Ow. Try going this direction. That hurts a little worse. Yeah. Alright, well, I'm gonna go do this in a proper mirror. We'll see what happens. It's alright. My initial impression is pretty good. It seemed to go fairly quickly. It's done a fair job. I can feel a little stubble, but that may just take some practice on using it. It didn't hurt as much as the other razor. All razors hurt. This one hurt too, but not. No, I have sensitive skin. But I mean, generally a favorable experience. That worked out fine. We'll give it a run in the shower tomorrow and see how that works. I think that'll help with the water on the face, although I don't think that helps shave your face, but it might help be less uncomfortable. So I'm generally pleased. It's not gonna make me enjoy shaving. That would be too much to ask, but maybe it'll make it a little less irritating. Anyway, we haven't even picked the kids up, and this is already a long episode, so I'm going to cut it here for the day. And we still have to go get the kids, which hopefully there will be no drama. And after that, we're going over to Arizona State University. Their Sci-Tech Festival is having some sort of Night of 1,000 Knives or Night of 1,000 Doors or something like that, or Valentine's Day Massacre. I don't know what it is, but we're going to go there, and that runs quite late. So if anything does happen, and I will try to get some pictures over there, I will save it for tomorrow. So in the meantime, let's see if we can get this right. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you all again next time! I keep wanting to say toodaloo. Toodaloo!